Hey friends, how you doing? Let's talk about dragons. Seeing as my name is Dragon Trooper, there should be no doubt in anyone's mind that I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to dragons. But what actually is a dragon? In every fantasy media, there is a pretty high chance that a form of dragon is represented, but not all of them are represented accurately. Not many people actually know how many different kinds of large fantasy reptiles there actually are. And today we're going to dive in, tell some stories, and then look at the dragon problem, quote unquote, from around the world. First, we need to establish what a dragon actually is. Like I said earlier, it's a large scaled fantasy creature, but it goes a little deeper than that. Dragons themselves have a set of front legs, a set of rear legs, and a set of wings. And 9 times out of 10, some sort of fire breath and horns or spikes or whatever. This this is the base model dragon and what the name actually refers to. If we subtract any of those features, it turns into something completely different. The word dragon originates from the Latin Draconum, which I'm probably butchering, and I apologize because that's going to happen a couple more times. It then made its way through French and into English language. In today's lore, the most accurate description would be from How to Train Your Dragon. Like we all know, Toothless has 4 legs and 2 wings. But like I said, in media, there are countless interpretations of dragons that are just not at all correct. But we're going to move on to our next big lizard, the wyvern. Coming to us as, again, and I'm sorry, Weavray. Wyvray? This beast appears to have its origins in the French language, which leans toward venomous serpents and birds for reference. The wyvern is missing the front legs of our dragon model and operates more like a bat walking on its wings. This is where a lot, and I mean a staggering amount of people muddle the words. If someone is going to make a piece of fantasy and use a dragon the wrong way, it'll probably end up being a wyvern. Game of Thrones does it, Harry Potter did it, the Hobbit movies did it, How to Train Your Dragon, and plenty more that I just can't really think of. It's actually harder to find a piece of media that refers to it as a wyvern organically. The best example is actually one of my favorite games, Ark Survival Evolved, where you can actually tame them. Now, moving on. Let's add those front legs back in, but take off the wings entirely. This is what's known as a drake. No, not the singer. Seriously, guys, come on. Put the fantasy gears in your brain back on, please. Anyway, there is, from what I've seen, a lot of debate about this. Some saying a drake is just like a lesser dragon with actual wings, some saying it has none, others link it to another type we'll talk about later. And you know what? I don't have any of the degrees that would help me figure out anything straight from fiction. So we're just going to settle on this answer. In the ever evolving fantasy landscape of the present day, a drake is just a really big lizard that's probably a lot more agile than others on the list, and a solid ground hunter, or a big bulky land lizard. Yes, with fire breath. Next up, I couldn't find anything that has just front legs and wings, so we're going to move on to a dual category, the Amphitheater and the Quetzalcoatl. Both reptilian species with only wings, but we will cover Amphitheater first. Now, I know this word exists, but the scary thing is, all the websites I tried just said that they couldn't find a matching result, which is very weird. These guys show up in some media, but is a lot more rare. Like Digimon and King Kong both used a version of these creatures. From what I've seen, they don't necessarily use fire, but are more likely to be poisonous or venomous. Now, the Quetzalcoatl was a major god in the Aztec pantheon, so it's not a form of dragon, but more of a deity. Some pictures depict him without wings, but he is known as the feathered serpent. So in mythology, he's depicted as a god of wisdom and maize, which, for those who don't know, is corn. It is said that humans were all dead because in the age before this one, a catastrophe happened and we all got wiped out. Quetzalcoatl journeyed to the underworld with his brother and negotiated with the death god for the bones of humanity. Once out of the underworld, he resurrected humanity and was heralded as a god of rebirth and of humanity by mixing his blood with the bones of the humans, I think. Very cool, very weird. Our next fantasy beastie is the Lindworm. Throughout Scandinavian mythology and European, Lindworms pop up a lot, actually. The creature has front legs and nothing else. Many stories depict it with deadly speed, picking off travelers around caves or throughout marshlands. The city of Klagenfurt, was said to be besieged by the Lindworm until a group of knights took up arms and defeated him. The city of Klagenfurt is now well known for this story, even to this day. And finally, we come to the Worm. Not W-O-R-M, W-U-R-M. A creature that looks to be just a large snake. The most famous and well-known is Jormungandr. The World Serpent. Known for his fated battle with Thor during Ragnarok, like we've seen in the game. This is the largest example, but Harry Potter used a worm as a basilisk in the Chamber of Secrets. When in actuality, the heir of Slytherin should have just been able to talk to a really weird chicken lizard abomination thing. Now we get into the meat and potatoes. Why is it that basically every culture around the world has an idea about a dragon? The Aztecs, the Chinese, Japanese, literally all over Europe, even Mesopotamia and Egypt had dragon lore, and throughout the Mediterranean with the Greeks and the Romans as well. The answer is actually pretty simple. They were digging and looking for materials. Whether it was fossils or skulls of actual animals, ancient people's minds just filled in the blank, like all human brains do. Now, from the massive worlds that have been flushed out in countless stories from the olden days till the present, whether you view dragons as dangerous monsters or a wise protective spirit, you at least know some of the actual names now. Until next time, peace out. Again, if you guys like this, let me know. There are so many fantasy creatures we can look into, and even cryptids could be on the list. So leave a comment, hit the like, and the sub. I appreciate it. Have a great night, day, or afternoon. Peace out.